Deron.
This is the Darren Harris Podcast. Here's your host, Darren Harris.
Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Darren Harris. This is my podcast. Thank you for joining me this week. Hopefully everybody's having a good week, man. We got 2 weeks to go, y'all. 2 weeks. That's all we got. 2 weeks to go. 2 weeks to go until we here in the United States, we change history. As everybody in the world knows, we have a presidential election coming up. And my question is this: do you want a president or do you want a dictator? I mean, that's a legitimate ass question. Do you want a president or do you want a dictator? It seems that everybody is voting for a president, but one of the candidates, while he's running to be president, his agenda looks more like a dictatorship. And more people who support him, I've heard people say that they were okay with it. I've heard people say that they were okay with a dictator. I've heard that. I've heard people say, nah, that's not what he's trying to do. I've heard everything. But from where I sit, and it might not mean nothing to nobody else, but from where I sit at, this guy is a liar, man. He's a liar that tells the truth. He's a liar that shows you the truth. He tells you he doesn't want to be a dictator, but everything he does points to that. Learn to read between the lines, folk. That's all it is. I mean, I'm a New Yorker, okay? So is he. So in that, I kind of understand the inner workings of how a New Yorker's mind works, okay? A lot of other New Yorkers do too. Most of us do. We know how the mind of a New Yorker works. This man is not concerned with y'all, okay? He's not concerned, because in New York, people in New York, we don't give a fuck about you. I'm saying we just don't, we don't give a fuck about nothing really. We care about our kids, our loved ones, and our 4-foot radius. That's about it. Everything that's outside of that, you gotta earn that. You gotta earn this. Now, Trump may have earned his spot with his followers, but he hasn't really earned his spot with the rest of America, with the other half of America, which I believe is a problem. And what's starting to happen, though, is there is a strategy, okay? There's a strategy that is being put out by the Republican Party. And that strategy, I mean, it's discredit Kamala by any means necessary. Discredit her, make her look weak, make her look incompetent by any means necessary, when in fact this woman is probably more qualified than this man has ever been. Okay? But that's their agenda. Make her look unqualified. And at the same time, make America feel unsafe. It's their agenda. And also, something else that they're doing is they are targeting Black and Latin voters. They are targeting Black and Latin voters. They are pulling out all the stops to gain those votes. They're pulling out whatever stop they can pull out in order to take the Black vote away from a Black woman. And my thing is this. I mean, come on, Black people. Really? I mean, for real. This man is, he's a proven white supremacist. You know, he's also a proven racist. And you voting for politics, I'm sorry, is just not that good of an excuse to vote for somebody who is set out to who is setting out to put an end to all of the protections that we've strived for in this country since the end of slavery, since the end of Jim Crow. And now you actively have Black men voting to reinstall those ideologies. I mean, I wonder if they're even aware. I mean, I'm sure people, motherfuckers ain't stupid. I mean, some of them are, but I'm sure people are reading. I mean, how can you read past some of this shit that they want to do and say, okay, I'm good with that as a Black person? I mean, because the majority of shit that I read through, I can't get on board with that shit. I just can't do it. You know what I'm saying? I can't do it to myself, and I can't do it to my people. You know what I'm saying? We've struggled here. And now we're in 2024, and people keep saying, we're in 2024. Well, you know what? They need to treat it like we're in 2024 instead of trying to push us back to fucking 1857. That's what needs to happen. But they lie to us. Oh, yeah, sure. Oh, yeah, that's what you guys need. Oh, okay. Well, let me write that down. We'll get that together as soon as I get in office. As soon as I get there, we go get that. I'll call you, as a matter of fact. When I start doing it, I'll give you a call and let you know that we started doing the shit that involves y'all. And we buy that shit every time. We buy that shit every fucking time, black people. You know what I'm saying? And now Latin people starting to buy it. The Cubans already. Cubans, especially the Cubans in Florida. Cubans in Florida generally vote conservatively, which I don't get that either. But hey, it is what it is. But black people who vote conservatively, especially, I have a question for you. And that question is, do you care for your people? Do you care about the plight of your people? Do you care? Black people in this country, black Americans, every single one of them, every black American that's voting conservatively, do you care about the struggles that your great-great-great-grandparents went through? Do you care about that? Because if you can sit up there and vote for this man, that's a solid no. That's a solid, you don't give a fuck about nobody. You don't care about your ancestors. You don't care about us. You don't care if we go back in time. You know, a lot of motherfuckers vote for him or want to vote for him because of his business policies. But he's a super failed businessman. He just got lucky and he got blessed and he got money from inheritance. Like he inherited a bunch of money. He's not a fucking good businessman. He's a dick rider is what he is. He's a fucking dick rider. You know what I'm saying? And he stands on the shoulders of other people. He doesn't pay people. There's a bunch of shit about this motherfucker. But here we are, man. Here the fuck we are. Trying to debate whether or not we're going to keep our democracy. There's a website out that you can go and check, and it's all the major polls. It's all the polls in the country. It's called 270towin.com. The number 270 and then towin.com. You can go there and check out all of the polls in the country. And currently, when she first started, she was 7 points up. Okay? She started with a 7-point lead. That lead has been cut down to 0.3%. And a couple of days ago, it was 2%. And then a few days after that, it was 1.3%. A couple of days after that, it went back up to 1.4, but then it went back down to 1.3. And now it's down to 0.5 or something like that. He has gained ground on her in that short period of time because they just, the conservative party, I got to admit, they did great damage control. To be given a candidate that they know nothing about and didn't expect to enter the race, but then systematically able to pick her apart like they have. And how dare the Democrats? I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna say this. Anybody in her party who is advising her right now, a lot of these motherfuckers need to be fired because you're not talking about the right shit. Okay? She automatically, you can tell she's got the wrong people around her because she's not talking about the right shit. And she's not articulating it well. She's just not doing it. Barack Obama's trying to help her out. It ain't really working. She's supposed to do some sort of rally in Texas. Beyonce's supposed to show up. Beyonce should have been showed up. Beyonce and everybody who feels like this should have been spoke the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? There's people that have been vocal on the other side, and it just seems like now these motherfuckers are ramping up to be vocal about Kamala Harris when they should have been vocal in the fucking day one. They started, but then fizzled the fuck out. Fizzled right on out. They started, but they fizzled out. And they're fizzling. And they're continuing to fizzle. 270 to win right now has her up by 0.5. .05, something like that, 0.5, something like that percent. She's going to be behind tomorrow. Did you hear me, folks? Our only chance to really save democracy at this point is going to be behind in the race by next week. Behind in all of the polls. Now, the polls can, go completely different. That's the truth. But right now, as it looks, she's got a long road to hoe and a huge wall to climb. And she's got I wouldn't be trying to climb the wall. I'd be trying to break it down. She needs to go, with a week left, she needs to pull out the stops. The thing that's going to get your vote, the thing that's going to get my vote, well, I mean, I'm going to vote for her anyway. Do I think she's the best Democratic candidate? No, not at all. I think there are plenty other people who could have done the job. I think there's plenty other people that she could have picked for her vice presidential candidate. Because at the end of the day, I think what people are getting tired of on the Democratic side is the current power structure that has been in place since the beginning of America. And I think the issue is that the Republican Party wants to preserve that ideology. And that ideology keeps white people firmly at the head of the line, and it keeps black people firmly at the back of it. Meanwhile, inserting Indians, Asians, and Hispanics all before black people. All these concessions and all of these benefits are given to all of these other folks except for black people. But then they turn around and tell people, oh, these people are coming here and taking your jobs. But they treat us like ass anyway. They don't hire us anyway. They're not taking our jobs. You motherfuckers wasn't giving us jobs to begin with. But they make it seem like they're trying to do so much for us. We have to stop being brainwashed by both parties. Do you hear me, folks? And this is just not for black people. This is for, I'm speaking to black people, but this is for everybody. We need to stop being so fucking gullible when these motherfuckers start talking to us. I mean, think about it like this. Because this is how I think about it. I don't think politicians are special people. I really don't. I think politicians are just like you and me. They lie, they take shits, they do all kinds of shit. The same shit that you and me do. So that means when a motherfucker says something, being who I am, I'm especially if you've been known to be a liar before, I'm gonna have some fucking I'm gonna raise my eyebrow at you a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna make sure that you telling me the truth before I believe you implicitly. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not gonna take your fucking word for it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that guy. I'm not just gonna take your word that you are gonna do something good for me. And the reason why is because when have you ever done anything good for us? When has this power structure ever really done anything good for us? They do stuff for us to get by. Oh, we got a little small triumph. That's what we got. But in the long run, what always ends up happening, we get a little bit, and in return, over the long haul, they get a lot. And we're happy with just this little bit right here. Just this little bit right here. Just this little bit right here. That's what we happy with. We happy with that no matter how they give it to us, as long as they give us a little bit of something that we can say, that we can show that we got this. And that's the thing, black folks. We got to stop taking shit. We got to stop taking shit that is given to us and start getting shit. Okay? We need to start getting shit and stop taking handed shit to us. Start demanding the shit that you need. Otherwise, you don't get the vote. Both fucking parties. Because right now, they're giving you the bare bones and they're scaring you. They're coming to take your jobs. They're not going to give you a job anyway. They're going to give it to him anyway. They've been doing that anyway. We don't make the jobs. They do. They do. And who's in charge of hiring? They are. Not us. Not the Hispanics. The people at the head of that power structure. Those are the people who make the rules. But those rules, we can make them make other rules. And we can make them make other rules just like this. We can make them make other rules by simply saying, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit and come back to the table when you got some shit that works for us. Period. No, you ain't gonna get my fucking vote until you have some shit that's gonna work for us. But then they go back to that room and they need something that's gonna work. So let's give them a little bit of this, but let's make some other language that if we give them this, then over periods of time, we get this. Nobody asked you to give you anything. Nobody asked you to give yourself. I didn't say, I need this, but y'all can get this while we know. I said, I needed this. Okay? You and your party need to figure out how to provide this for us unconditionally. Period. Because we are American citizens. But they don't look at us like that. They look at us as the scourge of the earth, y'all. They really do. And they sit there and they smile in your face. It reminds me of a song by the OJs. And I think I've sang it on this podcast before. And it is this. They smile in your face all the time. They want to take your place. The backstabbers. Backstabbers. It's the truth, y'all. Open your eyes. Open your ears. I mean, like I was saying before, we so quick to believe people. You know what I'm saying? But I could tell somebody the truth. And motherfuckers would run me through the ringer. You know what I'm saying? Somebody could tell me they love me, and I'm, all right, let's see. You got to prove that to me. But it just seems like, one particular candidate, he can say whatever he wants. Doesn't matter what he says. And the problem is this. Neither one of them are really talking about any kind of policy. I mean, for real. She's trying to defend her policy ineffectively. And he's not really talking about any policy at all. The only thing he's doing is bad-mouthing people. And I don't understand how these people can call themselves the moral majority when the person that they support is one of the most immoral people to ever walk the earth. This person is not a moral person. Never has been, never will be. What he is a pathological liar. It just, I don't know, y'all. I mean, what the fuck do y'all want to do? What do y'all want to say? Because I think that the problem here is the political party system itself. All right, the way that we elect a president is kind of bullshit, if you ask me. It's kind of stupid. It really is. I think that it should just go back to motherfuckers counting individual votes. Yes, it's going to take some time, and you motherfuckers need to get on it. But if I vote for this person, I vote for this person. I don't want to vote for a delegate. I really don't. I want to vote for this person. Fuck a delegate. Okay? I want to vote for this person. And if I don't want to vote for this person, I don't want to vote for that person. I want to be able to vote for issues. Okay? That's what we need. We need a party that puts together the issues that genuinely affect America with all the extra language and bullshit, and that party needs to implement those, and that's the party I would vote for. That's the party that I would feel extremely comfortable if somebody said, hey, listen, here's a press conference. America, I need everybody to do me this solid. I have people standing by. I need general consensus on what America needs. That's what do we really need within reason? And stop all that, we need to get rid of the black people. We need to get rid of all these crackers. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. And as a matter of fact, if you say that, we're coming to your house to remove you. Simple as that. Because I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I'm tired of racism. And I'm tired of racists standing behind a political podium saying that they have our best interests at heart. I'm tired of it. I'm sick and tired of us falling for it every 4 years. Every 4 years we fall for the same fucking bullshit, and every 4 years we get the same bullshit in return. Look at your fucking neighborhoods, black people. What are they doing? Look at your school systems, black people. Do you got new schools? You might have got a new playground, maybe one new school, but look at the schools on the other side of town. That's where all the fucking money goes. That's where all the fucking funding goes. That's where all your votes go. I live in a county in North Florida, and in this county there are 50,000, I think they said, 50,000 Republicans, registered Republicans, 50,000, 40,000, something like that. There's 10,000 registered Democrats. And the reason why, and I'm just going to call it out, black people don't vote. We don't think we need to. We don't think shit affects us. We think we're immune to anything that's happening in the country because we sit right here on our little stoop right here, and this is as far as we can see from this end of the block to that end of the block. That's as far as we can see. And that's as far as our care for the rest of anybody else goes, from this end of the block to that end of the block. That's as far as our care goes. We don't care about the rest of us. The only thing we care is how to take this block from this nigga, how to steal this nigga girl. Or that's the only thing. But you know what? That has been put to us by political institutions. That has been done to us by politics. All of that, everything I'm talking about, that whole shit has been done to us by politics. But we sit up here and we vote. I mean, we don't vote or we don't get involved, and then we complain. I'm gonna tell you what, black people, this go round right here. This is it right here now. This is it. If you don't go out and vote, if you don't go out and register, if you don't start looking at the issues and seeing what the fuck is here to hurt us, if you don't take a look at Project 2025, I don't want to hear shit. All right? I don't want to hear shit from you. I don't want to hear, oh, well, how come this is bullshit? I don't want to hear that. I want to hear that. Okay, Keisha? I don't want to hear that. If you care more about going to the weave store and picking up some weave than you care about going down here registering to vote to make sure that we have something here in this country for us, or the things that we do have don't get taken away from us, I don't want to hear shit from you, okay? I don't want to hear a fucking thing from you. If all you worried about, homie, is standing on the fucking corner slinging some fucking fentanyl or trying to be a rapper or some dumb shit, and you're not trying to register to vote, I don't want to hear shit. I don't want to hear shit when motherfuckers come and lock your ass the fuck up and give you more time. I don't want to hear shit. I'm going to take a break. I'll come right back. We're going to keep talking about this. It's the Darren Harris Podcast. I'll be right back.
Now, back to the Darren Harris Podcast.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to the show. So, yeah, man. I mean, we got some rallying to do. I mean, that's if you want to keep democracy. That's if you want to keep democracy like it is. I mean, and I know, I some people listen to this ain't gonna, it might reach some people, but it won't reach the people that I need it to reach. And that's it won't reach everybody. And that's what I'm looking for. All right. I'm looking for it to reach everybody. All right. So let's look at this real fast. Currently, she's leading, right? But there are many states, plenty of states that are like razor thin margins. And some of these states were historically blue. Some of these states were historically red. But there are razor thin margins in some of these states. Now, some of them are blowouts, of course. But there are razor thin margins in states where there really shouldn't be, like Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is about to be red for the first time in a long time. And if she loses Pennsylvania, it's over. Period. You know, she loses Pennsylvania, it's a fucking wrap. You know what I'm saying? Already. And that's what they're focusing on. You got to give it to the Republicans. They think of everything. They think of every contingency. Well, what about this? Well, what about that? Well, what about this? And they put something in place to combat that or go against that. They put something in place to make sure that they can level themselves out. Democrats got their heads in the fucking clouds. They need to start playing like Republicans. And that's how I feel, because in my personal opinion, Republicans don't play fair. They really don't. They cheat. They cheat. They always have. You know, in recent years, that's not everyone, but in recent years, a lot of Republicans have cheated to get elected. A lot of Republicans do things like redraw voter lines. They do that shit especially here in, let me rephrase that, because I don't want to speak for every other state. I just know here in this state, our governor, he redrew a bunch of lines so that a lot of votes didn't count. so that he could maintain his, I guess the red state status. But they continuously do that. And they move it around and they make it harder for us to vote. Now check this out. I live downtown, okay? Now, I live on a side of town that is kind of urban. Not all the way, but kind of urban. There's a couple of blocks away, there's a nice, affluent community. Let's just put it like that. Nice, really nice, affluent community. They look at me funny when I walk down the street. That kind of community. Right down the street. Now, their voter precinct literally is down the street, and they have a lot of them. There's quite a few of them. Our voter precinct from where I'm sitting right now is 15 miles. I'm 15 miles from where I have to vote. And then there's only one place. And then you go there, and the line is down the street. And who do you see there? People that look just like me, waiting. And at the other places, it's easy breezy. Walk in here, walk out. Walk the fuck in, walk the fuck out. Walk in, walk out. But not here. They make it hard. They make it hard on purpose. And now that you know that, black people, be the black people that I know you to be and stand up and be resilient. Stand there and make these people know that you are not afraid of them. Because believe it or not, voter suppression is a real thing. There's going to be people out there wanting to do you physical harm to try to keep you from voting. You have to push forward. And don't count on the police, because the police are about to be on the fucking payroll. You know what I'm saying? Don't count on them, because they're about to be on the fucking payroll. They're a fucking gang. They're a gang themselves. It's just an organized game. Call the police. And I don't trust any of it. I don't trust any of it. And that's where I am in this. That's where I am in this right now. This is where I'm sitting in this right now. Now, this election is not about politics. This election is about making sure that we maintain our democracy. It's really about ensuring that we get another chance to vote in the democracy. Because right now it's looking like it's not gonna happen, man. It really is just leaning towards, democracy going away. It may not be a dictatorship, but it's definitely sure gonna be a hybrid of some sort of shit. It really is. So people say they don't like Harris. People say they don't like Trump. But why? Well, people don't like Harris because they say she has bad policy on immigration. They say she's fucking it up at the border. They say she has no clear plan to fix any problem at the border at all. She's got no plan. They don't believe that she can fix the economy, but they believe Donald Trump can. Donald Trump's economy. No. Back it the fuck up. Donald Trump, and let's just be clear, everybody. Now, I'm going to get a lot of blowback for this, but I don't care, because it's the fucking truth. Donald Trump didn't create a good economy. He inherited Barack Obama's economy. Now, they're going, oh, no, I don't, because you don't like Obama either. For the same reason, I bet that you don't like Kamala Harris. But it's the truth. Donald Trump inherited Barack Obama's economy. Go look it up. It's the truth. But you know what, though, y'all? Sometimes the truth hurts the worst. And that's when they start lashing out. And not my president. I'm so sick of that shit. And I just fear that if this man wins, that it's going to embolden the rest of his followers, the rest of his cult, to come out and be the douchebags that they can be. Especially the diehards. The diehards. Those are the ones. Those are the ones. My problem with her is this. I think, as I look at her, I think sometimes that it feels like she is very disingenuous. And that she is, some people said that she's pandering. People are afraid that her administration will take us to war. People think that if we elect this woman, that Kamala Harris will lead us into World War III. And I don't believe that. But what I do believe is I believe that if she does win, that we're going to be entered into World War III anyway, because I believe that that is the plan from the other countries. That's the plan from Russia. China's like, all right, North Korea's on some, of course, we're down to fuck with America. But I think that if she loses, Russia is going to do what it can to bring us into the war. As per, so that people can say, see, we told you you should have elected Trump. You should have elected Trump. You should have elected Trump. And also, there's been lots of I guess information. People got their ear to ground. It says that if she wins, that civil war could break out. I'll be fighting my fucking neighbors. What? If this woman wins, you motherfuckers are salty about 4 years that you got to... But it's not about 4 years. They're salty about a black woman that has the nerve to challenge the establishment. That's the problem. That's the problem. Same thing with Ramaswamy. Ramaswamy's a Republican. But I heard a Republican lady say, I would never vote for you because you're not white. I heard that. It was in an interview. He was like, they were having a conversation and she was interviewing him or something, or he was interviewing something. And she straight up said, I like your policies, but I would never vote for you because you're not white. And that's Republicans, man. And my thing, Republicans, is this. If that's not you, then stand the fuck up and say it's not you. Stand the fuck up. If it ain't you, if this does not represent who you are, then stand the fuck up and say that. But you don't. You don't. You do the opposite. You embrace it. You embrace racism. And now you're getting to the point where not only do you embrace it, but you're proud to display it. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm fucking lying. Tell me I'm wrong. Basically, these people are saying that they don't believe that a woman can hold a job. That's the bottom line. She should be talking about reparations. She should be talking about health care. She should be talking about ways to build a stronger economy. What she shouldn't be talking about is Donald Trump. I wouldn't be saying shit about this motherfucker. I wouldn't be saying shit about him. You're not significant. And that's the way that she should have approached this. Donald Trump is insignificant because I have serious things to do to get this country back working. And not for nothing, fuck loyalty to Joe Biden. Thank you, Joe Biden, for making me the vice president. But I got a job to do now. And it doesn't have anything to do with the job that you did. Okay? There's some different things that need to take place. And I'm going to make them happen. She chose a bad running mate. She really did. I mean, he's a good dude, but he's a good dude. She should have chose Jasmine Crockett. I think if she'd have chose Jasmine Crockett, I think it would have been a little, because I think she's got her ear to ground on the issues that really, really affect black people, because she is an all the way black woman. So she hears. Kamala is mixed, and I'm not taking anything away from her, but she's mixed, and she also is in a forum where her politics is judged by who she is married to. Because I'll tell you right now, it worked for Barack Obama, but a black woman, she couldn't run for president and have her black husband up here. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to work out for America. America is going to make sure, or let me rephrase that, America is not going to work for them. Okay? It might work for the rest of us because the rest of us really don't fucking care. It's the people of America who care. And the reason why they care is because they feel like they're losing some sort of power. And that's a shame, because nobody has any power except for them. But they make you feel like you had power. Just like back during slavery, there were white indentured servants who got treated like ass too. But what happened is massa made them believe, because that they were white, they were better than us. And that was done deliberately. And these are all the institutions that were put in place back in those days that are still being upheld today. and that now black and Latin men are voting for. How does it feel to vote against your own interest? I've asked that question before, but people don't seem to believe that they are. But when you take it back in the days, when you take it back in the stacks, y'all, when you run that back that far, yeah, it's pretty shitty. I know some of your great-great-great-grandparents are spinning in their fucking graves. I know they are. I know they are. I know they are. You know, I'm a descendant of a slave. And he was freed. And he bought land. But he went through some fucking struggles, man. Let me tell you. My grandfather went through some fucking struggles for me to be here. Growing up in the South. You know, I have a bunch of uncles. And man, especially growing up in Jim Crow South, especially here in Florida, I'm flabbergasted, and I'm so grateful that none of my uncles were ever lynched. Because my grandfather had things. I'm so glad about that. But now, if I was to turn around and vote for this guy, I feel like I would be destroying my grandfather's legacy. I feel like I would be going against what he suffered for. That's what I feel like. So that's why I can't. And maybe Kamala might not be the best candidate, but she's going to get my vote because I cannot bring myself to vote for somebody who is vague about what their intentions are with us. Super vague, cannot answer questions. They asked him the other day, hey, man, now that the eating the dogs and eating the cats comment has been debunked, would you apologize to those people? And he said, well, we don't know that. Well, it's been debunked, sir. Well, what about the geese? Instead of just saying, yo, my bad. My bad. I'm sorry. That was a little misinformation. Not, even though it was disinformation, he could have just said it was a little misinformation I could have, all right, cool. But no, he doubled down on the fact that he ain't apologizing for shit. Just like he doubled down on the fact from the Central Park 5 that he tried to have he took a full page ad out and everybody's heard this and nobody fucking cares. He took a full page ad out to have them boys put to death. Them boys was innocent. And now, years later, bless their heart, they suing his ass again. They suing his ass. And it's going to be a landslide. They're going to win because he's a douchebag. And that's what I'm talking about. Everybody overlooks this man's bullshit. They overlook his bullshit, but they double down and they fucking microscope this shit out of everybody else. They didn't microscope this man. They didn't microscope him because they know what he stands for. They know what he stands for. Now, for me, it always comes back to character. And the thing is, man, as far as Donald Trump, for me, I've always known this man's character. Since I was 9 years old, I've seen this man's character. And it's been never anything that I've wanted to be. He's never exhibited any trait that I've ever wanted. This man is arrogant. He's narcissistic. He lies. He's a convicted sex offender. He's a 36-time convicted felon walking around fucking free. See what I mean, folks? Making concessions for this man. He's got 36 felonies, and this motherfucker is free. He hangs around questionable people and then says he wasn't hanging around questionable people. Him and Jeffrey Epstein are best friends. They were best friends. Trump has more pictures with Jeffrey Epstein than anyone else, but I don't know Jeffrey like that. Some lady just said that Trump groped her after Jeffrey Epstein introduced them. Why do you think the list hasn't come out? Because he's fucking on it. Because he's in it. You think this motherfucker's never been to Epstein Island? He's a fucking liar. He's been to P. Diddy parties. He's been photographed with both of them. Smiles and thumbs up. But that ain't him. That must not be him. Anyone can change. He's a Christian now. But you know what, though? That doesn't apply for the other party. Because as far as conservatives concerned, if you are a Democrat, you're a sinner. If you're a Democrat, there's no way you could be aligned with God. That's what they believe. They believe that implicitly. But I say this, there's no way you could be aligned with God when the only thing you want to do after somebody is born is take a gun and take their life. Both parties, y'all, all right? Both parties are full of shit. This man is a racist, and he says crazy things about, like crazy shit about different racial groups. He's a fearmonger. He doesn't accept any accountability. He's derogatory towards women. He doesn't denounce white supremacy. He just doesn't. He said he knew nothing about Project 2025, and everybody believed it. I didn't. Well, fuck, how can you not know? It's 900 fucking pages. It comes from the Heritage Foundation, who draws up the fucking Republican playbook and has since Reagan. How the fuck could you not know? You're lying. You're a fucking liar. But people, I guess it's all right. It's all right. I guess it's all right now. He's a liar. This man is by no stretch of the imagination a Christian. But all these fucking fake Christians down here, like I did a fucking podcast on last week, my last week's podcast, all these fucking fake Christians around here got this motherfucker thinking that he's fucking, that he's this fucking, this anointed soul that God is bringing back from, I forgot the name of the biblical character that they liken him to. Cyrus. This motherfucker ain't no fucking Cyrus. Not even close. Not even fucking close. This motherfucker ain't no fucking Cyrus. He's a fucking idiot is what he is. He makes it the funny shit to me is he makes it seem like, oh, you know, me and you know, I'm familiar with Vladimir, but you motherfuckers are fucking each other, okay? You're probably fucking each other. And I want to ask the American people this, man. I really do. I mean, I do. I want to ask the American people this. Now, Russia and China and North Korea, they're allies. They're all friends. But wait a minute. Trump's good friend is Vladimir Putin. But he tries to make it seem like they're not friends. Notice he doesn't have too much tough talk for them. Not much tough talk at all for them. Tough talk for a lot of shithole countries, though. Tough talk for Mexicans bringing fentanyl and rapists and not their best people over the border, though. Right? I'm just saying, man. I mean, don't get mad at me. I'm just repeating what the fuck he said. But I'm also going to tell you, he's a fucking liar. Okay? He's a person of poor character. Now, what I know about Kamala, I don't know enough about. I don't know as much about Kamala as I know about Trump. And the reason why is I haven't known about Kamala Harris since I was 9 years old. You know what I'm saying? I haven't listened to a billion rap songs talking about how they want to be rich like Trump. I've listened to that. You know what I'm saying? I've been around this culture where everybody wants to flash and, you know, be drinking bottles and, you know, fucking popping bottles in the club. And this motherfucker was part of that whole lifestyle. He was part of that whole scene. He was part of that entire scene. But he acts like he wasn't. He acts like he was sitting at home, fucking reading his Bible every day on his knees, having conversations with the Lord. This man can't even quote a Bible verse. Somebody, they put him on the spot. Can you quote one verse? Oh, it's really personal. No, The Lord said, shout it from the mountaintops. That's what he said. He didn't say cover it up. The reason why you couldn't recite one is because you don't know one. But you guys want to sit up and make concessions for this guy. If I was to stand my ass up in front of a church and say I'm a Christian, but I couldn't name any Bible verses, I would be ran the fuck out of there. I'd be ran the fuck out of there. Black church, white church, any church. You a Christian? You don't know no Bible verses? I'm a sinner, and I know Bible verses. Okay? I'm a sinner. Let me say that one more time. I'm a sinner, and I know Bible verses. And I'll say this again. I'll go ahead and say this. Just because you quote scripture, that doesn't impress me. How you live your life, that impresses me. Because people say some shit and do completely opposite shit than they just said. That shit happens all the time. Completely opposite shit than they just said. And they do it all the time. I don't know, man. I just don't know, folks. I mean, it's very scary. We have 2 weeks. We have 2 weeks left. We have 2 weeks left to determine what's going to happen in our country. And it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that we have to go through this to pick a president. I mean, it's just gotten to be tabloid TV. I mean, that's really what it is. It's just tabloid TV. Motherfuckers turning on this shit just to see what the fucking ratings are. It's fucking ridiculous. I mean, it's crazy, man. All the people are complaining about the current administration. Joe Biden's administration. Everybody's complaining about the current administration. But hold on, wait a minute, okay? Now, think about this for a second. They're talking about the current government, but look at our government. But look at this. The Supreme Court is mostly conservative. Okay, Congress is majorly conservative at 220 to 212. The Senate is Democrat, but there are 27 Republican governors to 23 Democratic governors. Mississippi has the highest gun crime, followed by Louisiana. Mississippi, again, has the highest infant mortality rate. Oklahoma has the highest home insurance rate. 4 out of the 5 states with the worst education systems are conservative states. Mississippi, Oklahoma, Georgia, Alabama, and West Virginia, all conservative states, have the worst healthcare system in the country. Mississippi, Arkansas, Louisiana, Kentucky, and Oklahoma have the highest teen pregnancy rate. The ideology is very confining. You see what I'm saying? These people bitch, moan, and complain, but look at these states. These are red states, y'all. But they complain about what's wrong with the Democrats. It doesn't seem like anything is wrong with the Democrats. It seems like something is wrong with the Republicans. Look at the states, y'all. Look at what's going on in your state. Louisiana, Mississippi. Look at what's going on in your states, y'all. Look at what's happening. It's your governors, okay? It's the ideology that is fucking y'all up. It's the governors. It is the governors, man. But I will say this. The other day, and I'm sure everybody's seen it, there was a video of Trump working at McDonald's, handling some fries at McDonald's, working the drive-thru window. And I made a comment that said, I thought it was Ronald McDonald, but it turned out to be another clown. And that comment got 1,000 likes. But one thing it did get is it got a reaction from a gentleman. And he was a Trump supporter. And he hit me in my DMs and he said, if you're voting for Kamala, you need to have your head examined. And that's exactly what he said. And I said to him, hey, man, You're entitled to vote for who you vote for. I'm entitled to vote for who I vote for. Stop trolling and go get a life. Then he said something else. I said, hey, man, listen, you're entitled to vote for who you want to vote for. I'm entitled to vote for who I want to vote for. It's just the way these things work. We don't have to agree with each other. But then something happened. Both of us realized that it wasn't he and I who had the problem with each other. It was the politics that were making us have the problem with each other. I didn't have a problem with him. He didn't have a problem with me. As a matter of fact, me and this gentleman, we sat here and we had a conversation for a good hour over to the DMs. For an hour. And he laid out some of his points. I laid out some of my points. He agreed with some. I agreed with some. He did disagree with more than he agreed with, but so did I, which we were entitled to. But one thing we did, both of us, we did, this person who supports this person, me who supports that person, me and this guy, we met in the fucking middle. Imagine that. We met in the middle. And we sat there and we had a civil conversation. It was heated in places, but one thing happened. He apologized to me. He apologized for the way that he started. But he said, just like, it's the politics, man. It's got us all wound up. It's got us out here hating each other. And we're not supposed to do that, y'all. All right? We're not supposed to be doing that. We're supposed to stand together as Americans. But politics and the politicians and the media, they're pitting us against each other, y'all. And only a few of us are realizing it. And only a few of us are really caring about it. I care about it. I don't want to be divided. I really don't. And I don't hate anybody. I don't hate conservatives. I really don't. I have some conservative friends that vote conservatively. You know what I'm saying? That have always voted conservatively. You know what I'm saying? I've had plenty of debates with friends who historically have voted conservatively. And we've had debates, and that's fine. But there's always an opportunity. There's always one side and then the other side. The way things are going now, it's just going to be one side, and that's just going to be the side everybody gets. Doesn't matter what the other side is. But back to this gentleman. We sat down, and like I said, we had a conversation for a good solid hour, man. And we talked about everything. We talked about everything. What he didn't like, what I didn't like, the things that he knew, the things that I knew. He educated me on some things, and I educated him on some things. And like I said, we met in the middle. And by the end of the conversation, we were laughing with each other. We laughed. We decided we followed each other. We decided to, hey, man, let's keep in touch with each other, man. Absolutely, bro. I enjoyed talking to you. That's what he told me. I really enjoyed talking to you. I enjoyed talking to you, too. I enjoyed talking to you, even though we disagreed. We still had a civil and respectful conversation. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it should go, y'all. It shouldn't be out here name calling. Shouldn't be that. If you vote democratically, you're going to hell. It shouldn't be that. It shouldn't be that. Because I'll tell you, Republicans, there's a lot of Republicans out there sinning just like Democrats. There's a lot of Democrats out there that are righteous and saved just like some Republicans. I'm sick of politics doing whatever it can to divide people. And that's what it's doing. It's dividing and destabilizing our country. And the sooner we realize that, folks, the better off we'll be. The sooner we realize that it's the politics and the politicians that are doing this, and the sooner we can get these motherfuckers out of here, including Mr. Trump, including Miss Harris. All of them out of here. The Clintons, out of here. The Bidens, fucking out of here. Everybody, all of these motherfuckers, out of here. Okay? Everyone, out. So, to wrap this up, y'all, again, we have 2 weeks. We have 2 weeks to determine what we want to do. 2 weeks to determine which direction this country is going to go in. I think a lot of people aren't sure still, which is fine. But I think a lot of people have made up their minds. And one thing I do believe is that everybody everybody involved, both sides, I believe that loves the country. I believe everybody loves the country, Democrats and Republicans. You know what I'm saying? I believe that everybody they want the best interest for the actual country. Now, the people are a different story. The people are a different story. And the people that are fueling the destabilization, those are the people that need to be checked. Those are the people that need to be brought up. Those are the people that need to be escorted out of the government. Okay? And it's not, it ain't hard to do, y'all. It's about having a good moral compass. It's about having people that don't have a private agenda. I think regular Joe Schmoes, I don't think billionaires need to be the president anyway, but I think regular Joe Schmoes, everybody needs an opportunity, should have an opportunity to say what the fuck they feel and have it taken seriously. Black people need to be able to express themselves and it be taken seriously by everybody. Latin people need to be able to express their feelings and their needs and have that be addressed and concern, be a concern of everyone. Same thing with Asians, Indians, and even white people. All of us, folks. If you don't know this about me, I hate ideologies. I don't hate people, all right? I do not hate people, and I'll stand up on that every day. I hate the ideologies that have been created, and the people who stand behind those ideologies and uphold those ideologies, those are the people that I have the problem with. Okay? Those are the people who I have the problem with, the people who continue to create policy to hurt other Americans. Because at the end of the day, when you create policy for Americans, it should benefit all Americans, not just this group or that group. And unfortunately, folks, that's where we are. Now, are we going to stay there? Huh? I think we got a lot of thinking to do, folks. Are we going to stay there? Are we going to stay in a place where we don't get to make the decisions for ourselves? Are we going to stay in a place where we continue to be divided? Are we going to stay in a place where we allow racism to permeate? Are we going to stay in a place where we allow lies to persist? Are we going to stay here? Or are we going to do something about it? We got 2 weeks, folks. We got 2 weeks to determine whether or not we want to continue with America the way that she is and help her get better, or do we want to go in the opposite direction? Do we want to go back in time? The choice is ours, and it really is, folks. The choice is ours. But I'm going to tell you again, there's some people who really need to get up and participate. And if you don't participate, I said it before in this, if you don't participate, then I don't want to hear shit from you. Don't complain about shit. Nothing. And to all the people of color voting for Trump, when things start getting repealed, I don't want to hear shit from you either. Okay? I don't want to hear shit about, oh, well, he said he would. I don't want to hear it because everybody's telling you now anyway. Everybody's telling you. Everybody's telling you. But y'all mad at Kamala because she put black people in jail for smoking weed. Y'all mad at her for that, but she was just doing her job. It is what it is. So, all right, folks, a little long-winded today, but I did have a lot to say, and I really do have a lot more to say, but I'm going to go ahead and shut it down now, and I'm going to go sit and contemplate because today I'm going to cast my vote. The early voting has started, and I wholeheartedly encourage everyone out there within the sound of my voice, Democrats and Republicans, go out and vote. Get out and vote. But I want to say this. I want to say this also to black folks. Get your asses up and be a part of America. Be counted. Be accountable. Get out here. Participate. It might just change your life. It might just change how you live. Get out here. Be active. Be part of the process. And do this. And then I'll get off here. Do this. Make sure in these days coming up that you are still registered to vote. Because like I said, in a lot of conservative states, they have made measures for people like in Texas and Georgia. All they need is your fucking name, and they can go to the voter registration and take you off of it. So if you don't like somebody and you have their name, you can just go take them off of the voter registration. And if you don't think that's fucking happening, then you're fucking stupid. So check your registration. Make sure that you are still registered to vote and get your ass up and go out and vote, man. Be a part of the fucking process. Show us what it's like to really be American. You're American? Well, come on and participate. That's going to do it for this episode of the Darren Harris Podcast, folks. So I'll see you guys next week. I got one more podcast before the shit goes one way or the other. I got one more podcast, one more time to talk to you guys before things change. So I don't know. I might not be able to talk about the president no more. Who knows? I might not be able to speak my mind no more. Who knows? You know, folks? So if you want to keep these freedoms, be careful and choose wisely. All right? I'm going to thank my mother and my father like I do every week because they're awesome people. I'm going to thank my wife because she's the greatest supporter I ever had. I want to thank my producer and best friend, Jesse Yandel, for helping me come up with stuff to talk to you all about. I want to thank Gentry Thomas for giving me the platform to talk to you guys. And last but not least, I want to thank you guys. I want to thank everybody out there listening to my voice. Everybody, week in and week out. I have 133 episodes. This is episode 133 today. Thank you so much. There wouldn't be episode 133 if motherfuckers wasn't listening. And thank y'all for listening. I do appreciate you. Come back, man. Come back. You know what I'm saying? And not for nothing, not only come back, but go to the podcast playground and check out some of my other, some of the other podcasts on the label or on the platform, because there's some great podcasts. Backstage with Gentry Thomas is great. He interviews. I think last week he interviewed Damon Wayans, which was great, man. It was awesome because Damon Wayans, he looks crazy now. He's got like a beard, like a gray beard. Damon Wayans is old now. It's crazy. But he's got Damon Wayans and their Celebrity Jobber with Zito, which he talks to celebrities about what they did before they were celebrities, which I think that's cool. There's the BJ and Bill podcast. There's Dirty Blonde. There's just so many out there. The Coolest Geek Alive. There's a lot of podcasts on the playground. The Big Podcast with Shaq. DJ Who's House with DJ Who Kid. There's a lot of good podcasts on the platform, folks. So, if you like my podcast, thank you very much. But I think there's a bunch of other podcasts that if you're into podcasts, you'd find some of these very, very enjoyable. So again, thank you very much for tuning into the Darren Harris Podcast. I will see you guys next week, or I will talk to you guys. You know what? Fuck that. I will see you guys next week, and hopefully we can keep America together, folks, okay? Peace.
You've been listening to the Darren Harris Podcast. Subscribe to the show, give a good rating, and everything you need to know is at DarrenHarris.com.